Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Suga and Sherm. This is our new podcast, and today we have a real special guest in the house. This is a champion fighter, one of my favorites. I used to watch him all the time. The one and only Boston's own Micky Ward.
How you doing, guys? How's everything?
What's going on, Mick? What's going on?
Same old thing.
Mick, you know, it's a pleasure to have you here. We've got two legends in the room with Suga Rashad and yourself. I heard you were in town.
Feel old, legend.
Yeah. You guys were legends before you started. You know, you were legends when you're out of the womb. You were a legend.
Yeah.
But it's amazing. I heard you were in town. We had a mutual friend. He said, you know, Micky Ward's in town. I said, dude, that guy used to fight Arturo Gatti. I used to watch those. They were bloodbaths. You know, they were the best fights I've ever seen. So it's a pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for coming down here and kicking it with Suga and Sherm.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. I appreciate, having me on, and it's gonna be a good show.
It's gonna be an amazing show.
You know what I mean?
I mean, there's so many places. You want to start off with Suga? I mean, you guys come from the same background. You guys are both fighters. I mean, go ahead and kick it.
Yeah, you know, Mickey. I mean, I've loved watching you fight throughout the years. I mean, your fighting style was one that really, you know, like you watch a fighter fight, and you're like, dang, one day I want to fight like this guy. You're one of those guys because you have such a in your face, high pressure style, and you just didn't give any
Like a
fucks.
pit
Like
bull.
you were just going. But what I love though, it's like, you know, it was a perfect mix because you had the ability to brawl, but you also had the ability to box.
Right.
You know, you had a really good, you know, so you can switch your stances like Marvin Hagler and the body head. I mean, it was just out of control.
Head, body,
man.
head. Yeah, that's the funny thing is people didn't understand I could box when I was younger. I boxed a lot. You know what I mean? But as I got older and I got like man strength, I should say. You know, I realized I got a good chin and I could punch a little with my left hook, and so I was like, all right, I'll stay in there a little bit longer, and then the body shot made me who I am pretty much. You know what I mean? As far as like the liver shot, but it's like you said though. I mean, I could do a little bit of both, but towards the end of my career, I was more of a banger and break people down. I broke them down mentally more than anything, maybe because I didn't mind, like, not that I wanted to get hit, but I didn't mind it. And as long as I kept my hands up high and tried to move my head a little bit. Like, funny, my brother come back in the third Gatti fight, I come back to the corner. And my brother Dickie is looking at me. He goes, you can effing move your head once in a while. I goes, go F yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't move as much like I should have, but, I mean, it's just the way the fight goes, you know what I mean? It's like, at some point in a fight, more than anybody, it's like, all right, I got to show him. I got to give him something more.
Yeah.
I broke him mentally, you know what I mean? Like, maybe they get sick of hitting me. I just, or whatever it was. No, I don't mean that, but I didn't mind it. I didn't want it, but don't get me wrong, but it was like something that I didn't care. But then I wouldn't be like, if I got hit, like, oh no. Nah, I didn't. It's just like, you got to
grin and bear it.
You got to do what you got to do. It's just go somewhere else.
Now, my favorite part of the fight, outside of getting my hand raised, was always when, like, I could feel my opponent breaking. Like, that feeling of knowing that he's breaking, and he knows that I know
that he's breaking.
That his ass is breaking.
Right.
You know, that was always my favorite feeling. Now, was it the same for you? Like, would you be able to get to a point where, like, round 5, round 6, you expected, like, the cracking started to happen?
Right, yeah, it's funny. What a lot of opponents, right? That did happen, right? And like, you would see through the fight for a second round, moving around, and you start breaking them down. And when you nail them with something good, you see that look in their face, like, oh, and you kind of sense you have it. You know what I mean? With a lot of guys, but the only guy that never showed me that was Gatti, because he would never show like, I mean, he was hurt, but he always fought back tough. I'm like, son of a bitch, you know what I mean? Like, when he went down, I'm like, please stay down. Right? I'm acting like I didn't. I was acting like, come on. But I'm saying to myself, oh, no, stay down. He gets up. He got up every time.
No.
I'm like, mother.
Let's touch base about that. I was gonna wait to get to that part, but since you keep bringing it up, let's go right to the meat, man.
Yeah.
The Gotti fights are probably one of the best fights ever in the history of boxing. I mean, you got the Frazier and Ali fights. That's a trilogy also.
Yeah.
The best 3 rounds of boxing.
Yeah, you got that with Marvin and Tommy Hearns. Yeah. But you and Arturo and Mickey, you guys were like twins. You guys beat the living shit out of each other. Yeah. And unfortunately, somebody had to lose and somebody was going to win.
We were good friends too. Not when we fought.
How do you
so
do
much.
that? How do you fight a guy that's a good friend of
my
yours?
brother if I was in the ring with him. I don't care. I'm not getting hit. Seriously, I knocked my brother down sparring him. I didn't.
Hey, you guys would always embrace each other after the
Oh
fight.
yeah, I mean after you shake your hands and you're best of friends, but when you're in there, I'm not letting you hit me.
Yeah, wait.
Oh, I don't feel bad about it. No way.
Were you guys friends before the first time you fought, or was it just
No,
after?
they got respect for each other.
Rashad, no, what it was. It was like I knew who he was obviously because he was a 130 pound champ. Earlier in his career, and so I knew who he was and all that. But we weren't friends, but we had mutual respect and stuff. And then after the first fight, the respect grew more, and the friendship grew more, and second more. Then after the third, we became best of friends, and I actually trained him for his last fight of his career, and we trained in Florida here in Pompano Beach, and we were down here for like 6 weeks or so at training camp. It was crazy training him.
Wow.
We became that close, we became best of friends. He used to come to the Boston area to see me.
It's crazy.
And I'd go see him, you know what I mean? And I'd go down to his training camp and see him.
Rashad, have you ever had an opponent like he did that had maybe a fraction of an inch of separation in talent where it could have went either way? If you guys would have fought 100 times, it could have went either way.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of a few fights that I had that were that were like of that caliber, but it was just a matter of just what made these guys so special was just because that magic that happened between the two of them when they're in the ring. That simple. It's almost like a brother. You know what I'm saying? You're playing basketball with your brother, and you're not gonna allow him having bragging rights. You knock him down, he gets back up, and it was just such a such a an amazing thing to watch. That chemistry just unfold because it takes two to tango.
Does,
and when you get in the fight, sometimes it doesn't make for a good fight, but when you find that good chemistry between it's something
about both of us. I guess it's you gotta have a good dancing partner, they say.
Yeah.
I mean, he was my dancing partner, per se, and like Ali had Frazier, Leonard had Duran, or Hagler. He had like whatever, I mean, I had him. You had your, like the people you have, and it's just
so
we just our styles just like I don't know if they gelled or we just
you had that punch,
maybe I had the left hook
and he had the jab.
He had a good jab. He had a good right hand. He had a good left hook.
Yeah, he did.
So
what about the crowd? How did the crowd perceive to both you guys?
The crowd was good. The crowd was like right in the middle, pretty much, and it's funny because
so it was a 50-50 crowd.
When I was back home, like in Connecticut, I won the first one.
Right.
That was in Mohegan Sun, not my home, but it's
close,
closer than Jersey or New York. But so I had a lot of people there. But then we went to Boardwalk Hall, the second and third fight. It was like Gatti. But then you could see as the fights went on, it's crazy that there was no they were just cheering for both of us.
Yeah,
much, you know what I mean? So like all his guys, it was just like a mutual thing through the fans and everybody. You know what I mean? Like, they were enemies at the beginning, but became best friends after. Like, and even the fans, right? We were all getting along at the end. You know what I mean? It was almost like
one big happy family.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It was like because we both just giving our all. You know what I mean? Just
can't help but have so much respect.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
So during that first fight, I mean, the legacy was truly made in that first fight. At what point during that fight were you feeling like this is something special?
Yeah, that's a good question.
It was funny. I've been asked that, and I say I didn't realize until after, when I looked at it after, because yourself when you're going through it, everything just it's something good, but you're not. You're just trying to survive pretty much, or trying to win at any cost. You know what I mean? So you just better than me. It's like everything's just going so fast. And when you sit down and you look at it after and you hear people talking about it, then you realize how special it was, you know what I mean? But I didn't really realize how special it was until probably after the third fight. You know what I mean?
Now that third fight.
After the third one,
The third fight, you knocked him down in the ninth round. Sixth round. And the bell rang. I remember that fight.
Yeah.
You had him. You had the fight. And then looking back now, if they didn't ring that bell.
Whoa, that's crazy story about that fight. I tell everybody this, right? And this is about getting old.
Yeah.
Boxing fighters get old, right?
Overnight.
Some guys get overnight, some guys go from the dressing room into the ring. They get old. I got old when I knock him down in the 6th round. At the end of the round, usually they'll come right out the 7th round, right on him, right? Bell rings. I get up. It was like I got knocked down. The fight, I had nothing.
Yeah, you're.
I'm like, what the fuck?
Damn.
I'm like, what am I? I mean, my everything was gone. Not totally.
You gave it all the first 6 rounds.
Well, yeah, but and then I was just hung on. I mean, not hang on, but I tried for the rest of the fight, but but it just didn't have nothing in me.
Now, does he talk to you and say, "I got you, Mick"?
No,
I got you,
Mick.
So when you guys are fighting,
there's no talking inside.
Because he talks. No. He always he would talk sometimes.
Yeah, but I'd look at him like that. I don't know. I just got. And what I'd always do is when he hurt me, right, I go, "Come on, hurt me." Right? I'm saying like, "Don't come at me." Trying to say, let him know, think I'm not hurt. I'm like, whoa. Right? I'm like,
wow,
bring it.
Yeah,
this is good
but
shit.
When he knocked me down in the second fight, I threw a lazy jab over here, right, hit me right here in the bone, right here in the ear.
Yeah.
It partially busted my eardrum, and I was out. I went down. I was getting nailed. After I got up, and they give me the 8 count. So he's nailing me, and then I'm against the ropes trying to cover up. I go all over. I'm dazed as anything.
Mm-hmm.
So he lines me up with a right hand, bang. That woke me up. I wasn't like I was still dazed, but I knew where I was. Everything was like good.
He shook you back to place.
Oh, 100%. And it was the weirdest thing. And I went at him. Wow, my legs were still gone. I'm like, I walked back to the corner like all out of it. But I knew in my mind, I knew where I was, yeah.
Now, that's the craziest feeling. Like, a lot of people don't understand that when you get hit, it's your legs go. And when your legs go, it's that you can't feel them. They feel numb.
You're paralyzed.
Yeah,
they don't go
feel
in your
numb.
mind. It's
it's your legs. So you may be clear
Remember
up
that
top.
Trevor Berbick knockout with Tyson? He knocked him out 3 times in one punch.
Yeah,
he couldn't get his legs.
Because your
He got up,
mind,
he was
your
wobbling.
mind is
He got
like
up, he was wobbling.
Your mind feels like, all right, I got rocked a little bit. But you're like, I'm good. But then you try to move and you're like, what's wrong with my legs? I can't feel my legs.
They don't connect to your brain or whatever it is.
They ain't connected yet.
That's sick. So Mark Wahlberg played you in the movie, which I loved, called The Fighter.
Yeah.
You know, it came out right about the time when you made that movie. You were in that movie. What was the movie you were in 2010? Warrior. With Tom Hardy. But it was right around that time. It was an awesome movie. I mean, I loved it. And Mark Wahlberg, he likes playing fighters. He's a Boston guy.
Yeah.
What was it like being a producer on that film and kind of, being with Wahlberg and?
Oh my, yeah, it's cool. It was cool because Mark's a Boston kid. Dorchester, right, like 10 minutes from Boston. But it was good. But it took a long time to make it, because the thing about it is like different people took it over, or studios,
financing. Yeah, that's always a pain in the neck.
Actors, like different people were gonna play Dickie. Then they got Christian, which nailed it. But there was other people that were gonna play him first, and it went through up and down. And Mark always told me though, he always said, "Mick, I'm gonna get the movie made." He was hanging there, we're gonna get it made. But it took like six years.
Is that right?
Years,
wow.
So when it was first talked about, it took that long to, get it made.
No. So how did that come about? Like, who decided to come? Like, okay, they presented you with the script, or what?
I remember when I won that title in London in 2000. When we got back and stuff, there was a kid, Keith Dorrington from Mass. He did some movie stuff, I don't know if he's a director or whatever, but he got it going and he started it, and he shot the
script.
He shot the script of Dickie getting sober and being all that stuff.
That's your brother.
Yeah, Dickie going over to England and fighting for a championship, fighting a hometown guy, and he kind of put a documentary about that, and he shopped it around to people in Hollywood. Mark got a hold of it, and it took off. Once Mark got his hands on it, and
did you know Mark before that?
Yeah, well, I didn't really know him good, Bashard. I knew who he was. Obviously, you know who he is. You know what I mean? But he said he had known me. I never knew that. He was a big fan, but I didn't know that because he's in LA and I'm in the Boston area. But yeah, I didn't know him too good though.
He was marking a funky bunch. He probably was watching you when he was a kid.
Oh yeah. He said he did. Yeah, and we have a lot of similarities because I have big families, and he has I have 7 sisters and 1 brother. He has 6 sisters and or 6 boys or 7 boys and 1 girl. It's the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, you guys in that Massachusetts, Boston area, you guys are like
Yeah.
stay together. You know, everybody,
Yeah, it's like a
you know,
fraternity.
who was successful. You guys
Yeah.
always
Southie
reach back
guys.
Yeah.
and help each other out.
Yeah.
What brings that out of you guys?
I don't know. To be honest with you, I think respect. I don't know. I have respect for everybody, and even the people I fought.
Yeah.
I wouldn't I wouldn't say nothing. I don't listen. What good's all the trash talking? It ain't gonna help you. It ain't gonna help you fight. Maybe in your mental, yeah, you need that. I didn't need that. I just needed in here. If I had it in here, I'm gonna go in here. I could shake your hand and still try to take you out.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just-
Yeah.
but outside of the ring, I know it was just.
I mean, I love the movie The Fighter, but I feel like it didn't truly tell the story of you. You know what I'm saying? It really highlighted the relationship between your brother and everything else like that.
Right? Yeah, 100% right. I think the movie was more about. Obviously it was a boxing sports movie, fighter, whatever. But it was more about the family dynamic, my wife, or my sisters, and my mother, and the family craziness and that, you know what I mean, and all that. So I think but I think if hopefully if a Fighter 2 or whatever is made, it's gonna show the Gatti stuff, which
Also, there's talks of a Fighter 2.
We don't know if it's gonna have. There's talks about it, so hopefully, knock on wood.
I mean,
you know what I mean. That's what I'm pretty much known by is the Gatti stuff and like that. So I think it'd be great if they did do a second movie.
Mick, let's talk about one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Arturo, he was your buddy.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys were tight, and he passed away.
Yeah.
What was it like when you heard the news that he was killed?
Oh, it was hard, man. It was hard. It's still hard. You know what I mean?
There's all kinds of rumors and speculation and theories. I mean, what do you think happened?
I don't know.
If you had to take a guess, you think his girlfriend had him killed?
I don't
his
know.
Wife?
Honestly, I hate to say that. I don't know. I can't say it, man, because...
What's your gut feeling, though?
I don't know.
You know him.
My gut feeling is I know I don't think he did that. But then again, if you're drinking and you're doing whatever, I don't know what the hell he was doing. Who knows? I don't know what his mindset was. Do I think he would do that? Hell no. But do I think she...
Did you ever meet her?
She was not good to me.
She was a cool chick?
Yeah, she was fine. But I mean, obviously everyone has their problems.
Yeah, behind closed doors, people flip switches.
Doors,
yeah, you know what I mean?
There's no doubt.
I can't say, man. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be fair for me to say, oh, yeah, I think she did. I don't know. So I mean, I just know he didn't take his life. I can.
You know him as a person.
Guarantee, but
but
I don't think he would do that. But then again, who knows? I don't know.
Yeah. So if there's a Fighter 2 and you start to tell that story, what would that be like? Because I know it'd be like with the Gatti thing, but I mean, like, there's a bunch of other stuff in between as far as like, how did you guys become close? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How did
the bond begin?
Yeah, it was funny because after my third fight, we obviously became better friends, and then Arturo was still fighting. So every fight after I fought him, his manager Pat Lynch would call me, Mickey, you gotta come in. He always asked me to walk Arturo into the ring. So every fight I walked Arturo into the ring.
After the fights?
After I fought him.
Through the third one?
After the third fight,
you would walk him into the ring?
Every fight he fought after me.
No shit.
I would walk him into the ring. And then one day Pat called me. I guess him and Buddy McGirt. They went their own ways or whatever. I don't know what happened, but Buddy wasn't training no more. And Pat called me and goes, "Would you be interested in training Arturo?" I'm there. What? He goes, "I know you're training fighters up there in the Boston area. Would you be willing to train him?" I'm like, I was taken back. I'm like, "You serious?"
That's a huge compliment.
That's a movie right there.
Yeah, he goes, yeah, I'm serious. He goes, and Arturo, they got on the HBO special we did. Me and Arturo were doing go-karts in Florida here, right?
Really?
And, at the F1 or whatever it's called up there.
Yeah.
And Arturo was saying, "Yeah, we can." He got that squeaky Italian French boy. Yeah, Mickey. I called him. He goes, "You want to train?" He goes, "You want to train me?" And you were like, "I'm not one. You didn't want to do it because you didn't want to do it." I go, "Yeah, I want to do it." I goes, "But I was shocked." He goes, "What's the matter with you?" He goes, "You don't want to train me?" You know what I mean? So I was taken back a little bit, but it was a great experience. Pat knew. I knew going in there I wasn't going to teach him anything.
Right.
He was like, he was training hard. He looked good in the gym and everything. Sharp. Something like we're doing the mitts, working the mitts before the fight, and he's hitting nail, he's nailing them good, and I'm like, wow, he's sharp. then from the dressing room to the ring, the fight seemed to come out of him. It's like nothing. It's like I'm like, oh man, and then I'm in the corner, and I'm the chief second in the corner. Me and Anthony Hammer in the corner, and I'm like, should I throw a towel? And he's getting nailed. I'm like, but then again, I'm thinking, would I want someone to do that to me? You know what I mean? I'm like, no, I can't. But then I'm like, I have like, it's like, what do I do? You know what I mean? And he gets stopped like that, and I felt so bad. You know what I mean?
What fight was it?
Alfonso Gomez.
Oh, Alfonso
the
Gomez.
last fight he got.
And he was bleeding pretty bad.
Yeah, he got a cut wide open.
So what? He bled a lot, Arturo.
Yeah.
I noticed that. I mean, you knew that going into those fights. He was a bleeder. He was a tough son of a bitch, but his face would be like opened up like a friggin'
it would.
like crazy.
Yeah, he would the way he fought though. But then when he got Buddy McGirt with him, Buddy McGirt changed his whole style.
So his head was down more, right?
Buddy got him back to his boxing. His leg, he had great legs.
Great legs.
And he had great speed.
And great footwork.
He had good power. So
yeah.
Put all those together, he was like, it was dangerous, you know what I mean? But Buddy McGirt got him back on boxing. Got him back to doing what he did best. Was like using his jab, moving along, not staying there punching in it, punching when you should punch, get out on angles and this and that, you know what I mean? But you know, and that's the way he fought with Buddy. And then you know, I got him at the very end, you know what I mean, when he was like, whatever. But you know, he didn't, like, again, back to your point though, when I fought him, he didn't really bust up like that because he was like doing the right things. He was like,
well, he busted up in the later rounds. You got him good.
Oh yeah, he did.
He was popping like a swab.
Yeah, he did, but not like he was like on his toes more.
But you know, when you get busted up like that, as you know, I mean, you know, your skin, you have all this scar tissue.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, as you get older, it gets thinner and thinner.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like when you do enamel on your teeth, it can break.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
so it must. He was
especially me being like, I'm white, right, with fucking Irish skin. You just go like this to my face is all like a tomato. It's like, it looks 10 times worse than it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like
in the first round, like when you're fighting somebody, you cut in the first round.
Yeah.
You just like, oh well, it's just the way it goes, or do you start going to the panic
mode? It don't bother
mode?
me. No.
You don't worry about like if the referee's gonna stop it if it's not in a good place. You just like,
no,
I'm just gonna keep on fighting.
No, I don't even think of it. I did because I'm just so into like.
Yeah, so used to
And it doesn't. I don't know. It never got bothered me getting cut or nothing. I'm not saying I'm not just big on and then bother. Things bother me.
Right, but that didn't bother you.
But you know,
it just.
When did you start boxing? I mean, you're
at 7.
At 7.
Yeah.
Were you getting picked on or bullied or anything like that? Your brother got me. Brother
well,
said.
Dickie got me into it. You know, he was a good fighter prior to me. He was a good boxer.
Did he beat the crap out of you when you were a little kid?
No.
No?
No.
I
like football and baseball.
Your brother's a real good boxer. He fought Sugar Ray Leonard, right?
I saw
Ray that. He also turned around assistant to Ray, and he fought a good fight with him, and
he did.
It was good, and you know, the drugs got him obviously, but he's doing good today, so knock on wood.
He's still tight with your brother.
He's still here today, so that's a blessing.
Sure.
You know, that's a blessing right there. So I mean, having a brother that was into drugs and everything like that, how didn't you get pulled into that? Was just seeing that?
You know what? It's because I've seen it, and like I've seen it my whole life growing up, and then where I'm around and just family and whatever. You know what I mean? I seen it firsthand, and I don't know. I could have either went that way or that way, and I just chose not to do it. You know what I mean? I could have been easy to do it.
Yeah, because I mean, you guys probably have around the same amount of like. You know, the reasons would make you go to drugs. You know, people don't go to drugs because they just want to go to drugs. They go to drugs to cope with different things.
Yeah,
so
Well, see,
how did you cope with the things?
Different than me, though.
Yeah.
I think he says the story like when he first tried cocaine, he used it once, it used him every other time or whatever he says.
Yeah.
Right. So, you know, I seen all that, and I just I never got into it. I mean, I've tried it like years after or whatever, and I never liked it.
Yeah.
And then I stopped, and that was it. Way back years ago. And luckily, I'm like that. I can, whatever, you know. I mean, I don't drink, and I don't really drink no more, and like that. I drink at all. And I never got wrapped up into it. Why? Because I don't want to be like, I don't want to be that person that was here and then they're down here because of that.
Right.
You know what I mean? If I'm gonna,
but that was common in the 80s and 90s.
Oh shit!
Because
Yeah,
every
you know what I mean?
athlete was
But
doing drugs. I mean, everybody from Sugar Ray Leonard to
100%, yeah,
to Tommy Hearns.
And
I mean, they were all doing it.
Nothing wrong with all of them and all that, but I just said, nah, I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? And I don't know what it is, but I'm really a strong person into the mind. Like, if you don't want to do it, I don't care who you are. If you don't want to do it, you don't do it. He was, oh, I was around him. Who gives a F? if you don't want to, you live in your body. You don't want to do it. You say no,
Right.
no. That's no why, because you make excuses why you did it. You did it. What the hell? What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
You live in your freaking body. No one can tell you really unless they knock you out and put it in your nose or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They ain't
Yeah.
sniffing it up there. You know what I mean?
Right. No, it's true. It's true.
You
So-
did it.
So you were used more of like when you were going through tough time and you had issues with coping with different things, you would turn to your sport for to help you
Yeah,
cope.
I do that, or I just like I would just I don't know. I wouldn't do it. I just like you know what I mean. I used to drink, not a lot, but I drank. You know what I mean. But you know, I go out and have some beers with friends and stuff. I'm a happy-go-lucky person, so I
Yeah.
don't get like, you know what I mean. I don't get too down or you know. Then I got diagnosed with the CTE back in 2005.
Oh
I
shit.
take medicine for that.
Is that right?
Post-concussion stuff.
Now,
Mhm.
how did they diagnose
So-
that? Would they take an MRI?
let's
or
tell
what?
us base about that.
And the doctor Robert Cantu in Boston and Chris Nowinski that started it back in Boston had asked me if I'd like to take some tests. And I took a numerous ton of tests and to see if I had. They can't see how bad you have it until you.
They just tell you they have it.
They can see if you have signs of it, and I came back positive, and so I take medicine and stuff for it, but
So what did the test? They did tests to kind of
they
see
take
if you
like
have it?
MRIs, they take
Oh,
different
okay.
parts.
Yeah, of course,
this,
your
that,
brain.
all like I don't even know like the name of the test actually.
Yeah.
But you're in a bunch of capsules and this and that and that. And it came back that I have it, but how bad you have it, they don't know until you pass. But I'm good because, like I said, I don't drink really.
You take
I don't
medication
drink.
for it?
Yeah, I take because I get tired at a certain time of the day and stuff. I the medications like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not like dead tired. You know what I mean? At
Yeah.
a certain point of the day, I'll be like, I'm really tired. And then
Do you smoke any weed at all?
You do any self-medicating?
No.
You're doing
None, no
smoking
weed, nothing. Huh?
Because
No, I
Mike
don't
Tyson
smoke.
was a friend
No,
of
I know
ours,
Mike,
and
I know
he
that.
self-medicates all day
Smoke,
long.
I'm scared shit. I'm scared shit enough. If I smoke pot, I think everyone's looking at. Oh.
Okay, but listen.
But you know what I mean? It's
Or
weird. They
microdose some shrooms.
Yeah,
Shrooms,
Take it to another
shrooms,
place,
no,
man.
They said, but I'm scared. I'll never come back.
Well, I mean,
I
mean, I've
You know what I mean?
I've delved in the whole
Shrooms are
psychedelic
great,
space.
man.
And I'm telling you, I think that's great. But I'm like, I would fight anybody. But if they take something like that, I'm scared of it.
Well,
I don't know. You know what I mean?
Have it
And
in
then
a
my
chocolate
mind-
bar.
My mind.
A nice like a chocolate chip
I try-
crunch.
I tried that before, a chocolate chip thing. And,
How was it?
Oh, I thought I was hallucinating.
That's the whole idea.
I thought things like my legs are going. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm like,
It's
whoa,
what
I
you-
couldn't
yeah.
feel shit. I'm like, whoa.
This is crazy.
I'm like, get me out. I thought I was in a dream. Like, get me out of this. Oh no.
Yeah.
I'm like, but in the back of my brain, I know it. I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm,
you'll be
I'm,
all right.
in the back of my head, I'm like, okay, you'll go away in 2 hours. Then I go back into that whatever. I'm like, oh.
Now, was it mushrooms or was it
No, it
weed?
was some
Cannabis.
Some microdose.
It was a brownie or something.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
So a
shit.
weed
A
brownie.
weed
Yeah, a
thing,
weed
yeah.
brownie. Yeah.
I said, I'll never.
Well, those
do
are
that.
heavy duty,
those
man.
are heavy. See,
Yeah,
that's
don't
the thing.
touch
Like
that.
sometimes you can eat one of those and you could and
I'm
you're being
like,
for
You messed up for the
I'm
whole
like,
day.
I would never. I said, that scared me so much. I'm telling you, my feet were going. Ooh. I'm like,
Wow.
whoa.
I would say this. So I was getting ready for a fight to fight in New York, and I wasn't able to get a clearance because they said that I had something. My
In
MRI
your
came
system.
back.
Oh, and
Yeah,
MRI,
yeah, my
okay,
brain. So then I went to go see the guy from concussion, and I went and did a bunch of cognitive tests and all
Yeah.
different kind of tests to see, if I'll ever be able to fight again because they were telling me that, you might be cooked. It might, there's
You're
no
done,
chance.
yeah.
Yeah. So what they found was that it was an old what they call the contra coup, which
Yeah.
means that I hit the back of my head, and because I hit the back of my head, it caused suction in the front of my head, and my brain smacked against the frontal lobe, right? So I had a little bruising, a little bleeding there,
Yeah.
but it was old. But when I got ready to retire, I was thinking about, damn, what's gonna happen? What's
get
gonna
hit in
happen
the
with
head.
that? Yeah, and I was
So
I was
it
afraid
fucked
of
you
that. So I started to I found an interview with Paul Stamets and Joe Rogan talking about psilocybin mushrooms and
Yeah.
and what it can do and how it helps the neurological body build back with through neurogenesis and
Mhm.
neuroplasticity.
Right.
So I started on a mushroom program, and dude, I tell you, I don't know if it healed my brain far as
Yeah,
like
yeah.
quantifiably
Did you
being
fight
on a
after that?
test, but I feel like it has. I feel
Yeah,
like it has
it's
done
good.
things that I didn't expect at all. Like it took away a lot of the brain fog that I was having.
Wow.
You know, it made me feel better neurologically speaking. Like I felt as if like my
Hmm.
body was coming back because I felt before when I was training, I would see an opening, but then I couldn't get to it fast
Yeah,
enough.
yeah.
We brought
right,
you some
yeah.
shrooms right here.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Yeah.
give you one.
Ooh.
Bring him in real quick.
Guys, we got the shrimp.
You got him?
But listen, the good thing about it is I'm a trip sitter. I'll sit and watch you trip.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
But
man.
hey, I'm all for it. Seriously, like people like are against all that. I'm all for that. You know what I mean? I'm all for it 100%. Like if it works for you, you know what I mean, Rashad?
Yeah.
I mean, hey man, I'm all for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Me, I'm just scared of it. To be honest with you, and I'm just scared.
Yeah, I don't
Plain and
blame you,
simple.
man. It's
I'm
all
not
good.
scared of many things, but I'm just scared of I don't know. I don't know.
You're scared of,
You know what I mean?
losing
Of the
your
unknown.
mind. I
Yeah.
mean, there's nothing scarier to me than losing my mind.
Right.
But
I
one
mean-
thing I found through using psychedelics is the
Right.
fact that when you use psychedelics, you don't lose your mind. You kind of gain your mind.
Yeah, that's
Because
what
the
they
thing
say.
about it is, right now, like just living the way that we live,
Yeah.
this is an insane asylum. We live in an insane asylum. This is an insane world.
Mhm.
Matrix.
It's upside down.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
right.
So we're judging, being there or being,
Mhm.
I guess based on society, but
Right.
society's is fucked up.
No, I understand.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's like I mean,
It gets you through
Yeah.
the day, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
100%.
Yeah.
it may offer perspective, and that's why I like the medicine is because
yeah.
it allows me to have perspective without allowing the time to pass. Because sometimes you can't get perspective until time passes.
Right,
But
exactly true.
And there's no like pension or union in boxing, right?
That's the thing,
So that's
too,
the
is
thing. They've
that-
been fighting
yeah,
for that
yeah.
for a long time. You guys
Yeah.
fight your asses off out there, and there's no
That's the thing.
there's
like,
no
in hockey,
compensation.
you get football, you get basketball.
Right. I still don't
All
understand
that,
that.
you know what I mean? You have a pension, and they don't have it in boxing, or I don't think they have it in MMA either, right?
not they don't.
Right.
And with
So,
you,
right.
your
Like a
last biggest
union,
fights.
The
Right,
union
yeah.
should have it.
Yeah, union, like
Or a
but,
play-
but
or
then
an
again, that's the thing,
association,
if
like
you
the
got a
and
union,
Major League
then
Baseball.
those big promoters and all that, they don't get. It's hard, man. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it is
It's gonna be
hard, man.
tough, I would, the two most hardest combat sports, boxing, MMA. I mean, that should be like without a doubt. You know what I mean? You should be able to
100%.
have that. I'm not saying every single person that puts gloves on or fights MMA get it. I'm saying you got to qualify for it. You got to
Right.
fight so many championship rounds, maybe.
Right.
Right.
So
right,
many fights
Right.
or whatever. Not every, because anyone can go out, sign up for MMA and fight. Anyone can sign up for boxing and fight.
Right. It's
Go pro,
the
get knocked out
criteria,
5
yeah.
times. So what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to qualify to get benefits or whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean?
What do you think about that fighter out there? Was it Devontae Davis? Is that his name? Javante Davis.
Javante.
Javante Davis.
Yeah.
Javante?
He's
he
a
can
bad.
fight. Oh, yeah.
He's a bad
Yeah,
little
Tank's a beast,
little
man.
little
Tank,
son
he
of a
can fight
bitch.
his ass
Tank's
off.
a beast.
He's gonna. No, I don't think I'll see nobody leave.
No, I don't think anybody's gonna touch him.
He's
So-
fighting Garcia, but I
Oh, they're gonna do that fight with
well,
Garcia?
they're saying I don't know, but
See, but that's the thing with boxing. They don't do the fights that we want to see, man.
Yeah.
You
It's
know,
all money.
that's the thing that separates like MMA from boxing.
right.
Because Dana puts on like the fights with like the best of the best.
Yeah.
That two, what should happen? Boxing, there's so many like they circle around. You know what I mean? I don't
Well,
know.
the problem is there's too many different championship titles. So
And there's-
everybody want their
and
champion.
there's a lot
to
of
be
money
the one.
involved, and then there's this, that, like the sanctioning bodies, this, that. It's like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? There's so much money. If you fight the number 6 guy, right? You get as much money to fight the number 1 guy, the other champ. So why are you gonna fight the champ when you can
Yeah.
fight this guy and make more money?
Makes a
next
lot of
time?
Right.
sense.
Right. So are you an MMA fan? Like,
Yeah, do you
Yeah,
watch
yeah,
MMA?
I love it. Yeah.
What do you think about tonight's fight? What's going on? You hear what's going on tonight?
Oh yeah, they're not.
They
Fighting
switched
though,
up.
right?
No,
Yeah,
they're
but-
fighting. They're switching the whole thing
No, I
around.
know that, but
What happened was the cams
I don't
got the.
understand how you're fighting a championship fight in that caliber. And you
Explain
come in
that.
10 pounds overweight.
so what probably most likely happened was
Or was it a bad scale he was weighing himself on? Or?
well he probably so they scheduled this fight to happen about a month earlier than
Right.
it was supposed to, right? I guess he was hearing talks that they were supposed to fight in October, but then they said, yo, we need you for September. They both stepped up, and they got the fight for September. Hazmat was building and bulking at the time, so he was like way out of the range of 170 because he fights at 185 and 170.
Right.
So he was close to being more like a 185 pounder. So when when it was weigh-in day or weigh-in night, I should say, like on a Thursday, you get ready to weigh in on Friday.
Right.
He was he was stuck at like 6 pounds over, and it wouldn't budge. And he was like, I don't know if he called the UFC, and then they were like, all right, you can stop. So he stopped cutting weight and was just kind of like, all right, well, I guess, it's going to be what it's going to be.
Yeah.
And then once he stopped cutting weight, they approached Diaz with it, saying you'll be able to take so much of his purse. And then Diaz like, nah, I'm not going to fight him. I'm not going to fight him this much heavier because about fight night, he's going to be about 20 pounds heavier.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
100%.
saying? So I get where he was coming from with that. So what they did is they made lemonade. You know what I'm saying? They had lemons, they made lemonade.
Yeah.
And the best thing about it was that the UFC they found a way to turn that missed
into a positive.
Yeah, into a positive.
Negative into a positive.
Because what happened was they were supposed to have a press conference on Thursday, but a melee broke out. There was a fight in the back, and one of the two guys that were fighting was Hamzat and Kevin Holland.
Yeah.
So what they did is they found a way to say, okay, you guys want to fight
You got
in
a
the
beef?
back?
Let's do it.
You know what I'm saying?
When does that happen, though?
Like,
I
mean, so
that's crazy.
How does that happen?
But now it turns out to be like
The biggest fight of the year?
one of the biggest fights of the year because now you have Nate Diaz
And they hate each
versus
other,
the
those
badass
guys.
and Tony Ferguson.
Yeah,
That's going to be a
that's
great
gonna be a
fight.
great fight, yeah.
You got Hamzat and Kevin Holland. That's going to be a badass fight.
man.
And you got Daniel Rodriguez versus Django Lane. That's going to be a badass fight too. So
That's crazy.
you got 3 badass fights made out of utter chaos.
Right.
You know?
And Dana White is laughing all the way to the bank.
All the way to the
100%.
bank, man. It's absolutely genius, man. But you are an MMA fan, and have you been to many UFC fights?
Oh yeah. I got him. I talked actually yesterday to him. Rob Font.
Yeah, Rob Font. Rob Font's the man.
Rob, Calvin Cater's my buddy. I trained Calvin a little bit back at home. I
Oh,
train them guys like when they're back home in the Boston area, like when they're not like wherever they are, Florida sometimes, and wherever they go to train and stuff. I'll train them a little bit, but Rob and Calvin, and I've trained a couple other kids too. And I've gone to a lot of Dana's. I've gone to the
You and
fights.
Dana pretty tight?
Yeah, I know Dana very well.
You guys are both Boston guys.
I've known Dana since for years.
No way.
I actually went to the Mohegan Sun where I beat Gatti the first fight. Dana did like one of his first shows, I think. I don't know.
Yeah,
in
Mohegan
2003.
Sun. Yeah, that's what they used to do, man.
In
Yeah.
2003.
Wow, that's
2004 it was. I fought in 2003. 2004 or 5.
it's going back.
Yeah, I've known Dana that long. But Dana's a Boston kid.
Yeah.
He's Connecticut, I guess. But
Yeah.
He's been in the Boston.
And
area
he's a
long
great
time.
he's a great showman, man.
He is, yeah.
He's
I know Dana a
perfect
long
for the
time.
sport.
Yeah, good
That's
guy.
good. The one thing I like about Dana is the fact that he's, he keeps his Boston crew. You know what I'm saying? He looks out for his
that
Boston
and Dana
people,
tells you
man.
how it is. What
Yeah,
you want.
yeah. He does.
He
He does.
doesn't beat around the
Sugarcoat
bush,
nothing.
whether you like it or
he
not.
don't. Me and Danny used to always get into it. We used to
Yeah.
always get into it, and then we just had one conversation. It was just like,
What would you say?
we would get into it. We'll get into it because
He does that 10 times a day, probably with 10 fighters.
yeah, but
But the thing is about Dana is he lets you know how it is.
that's what I
He
always
tells
respect
you-
about Dana. That's what I always respected about Dana.
Hey, he doesn't pull no punches. What you gotta love. You don't want
Yeah.
someone pussyfooting around it or saying the wrong thing to you, or
Right,
giving
or
you
say one thing to
false
you, then say
hopes or
another thing
whatever.
behind your
No,
back.
he'll just tell you how it is.
I like
Yeah.
what he
What
said
you getting with
yesterday
this, that, and that.
in the media. The media was swarmed around him, and they said, what happened back there? And he said, he goes, it was chaos, man. He goes, we're not having it because it was just total chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he said they were fighting over here, and he said, "Oh, really? Tell me about it." You know what I mean? He runs the show, and he's also like a fan.
Yeah,
He talks to the media.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Except
He
you bring
relates
up
to
like
his
Logan
fighters,
Paul
like,
and
I
that kind of
believe
shit.
The
He
fighters
just,
relate a lot to him.
Yeah, for sure.
You
for
know
sure.
what I mean? And you
Yeah.
don't get a lot of guys like that. 'Cause you get a lot of guys that are like older, and they're not really into the sports. And,
yeah.
they're just there for the whatever. You know what I mean? I don't know. But he
Yeah.
seems to, he cares about his fighters or the fighters, and obviously he's a promoter. Everyone's promotes. Got to make money or whatever. But he's really for the fighter, I believe.
Right.
You know, I like Dana. I've known Dana for a long time. I like him a lot. You know what I mean? To me, he's a great guy. People have their own opinion. Like everybody has an ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They have their own
absolutely.
opinion, and I think Dana. I like Dana.
Well,
I
Mick,
like him a lot.
it's been a pleasure having you, man.
Thank you, man. I
So
appreciate
before we
it.
kind of wrap it up here, what do you got working on now? Like, what's the next thing for Micky Ward?
Yeah, right now, as you can see, I'm with the company Live Train. We're doing like training on a mobile app. You can train with me. We got MMA people involved.
Yeah, Billy White was telling me
It's,
about
it's
that.
like
Dana
it's like
helped us out.
masterclass, right?
Yeah, Dana White helped us with some MMA people, a lot of MMA good fighters to train with the app, boxing. We got Billy White there, teaching the Mike Tyson.
The Customato way.
I'm sorry, the Customato
Sure.
style that
The
Mike Tyson
peekaboo.
moved.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, you know, like
Shout out to Billy White. We love you, Billy.
White, great man, great
Yep,
man, great
yep.
trainer. But I love Billy. And
And are you down in Florida much, or you?
I'm trying to get down here for good very soon.
Like everybody else,
I'm just
right?
looking, I know.
What area are you trying to go to? You try to...
Up in this area, I think.
Okay.
Up in the I was gonna be down by Lauderdale by the sea, Pompano area. I
Oh,
don't
that's
know.
nice.
nobody.
I live by that area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Anyway, I'll take anywhere down here.
Yeah,
Cold
beautiful.
weather.
Yeah.
But know what's crazy? Because I used to love to run in that snow because in my weird mind,
Mindset. Yeah.
my weird mind, I'd say, my opponent ain't doing this.
Yeah.
Running in
Yeah.
the snow cold. You know what I mean? Up the hills,
Yeah.
running in the snow. So, you know, but my opponent's like on the sand running, you know.
Yeah.
Like Rocky
You know,
stuff.
yeah. When
Yeah.
I'm running in the cold, you know, just weird mind games like that.
Yeah, but
You know?
that
Or
goes a
running in
long
the
way.
hot heat.
Yeah.
My opponent's in the AC on a treadmill. And
Yeah.
I'm out here killing myself, losing like 10, 15 pounds, not 15, losing like 5 pounds running or 4 pounds, whatever. You know what I mean? What my opponent ain't doing. Just having a little mental edge, you know
But
what
see,
I mean?
when I, as a coach now, I see these young fighters and I say, find something that you can do in training and do the mental work. And the mental work that I'm talking about is exactly precisely what you're talking about.
Mhm.
Putting yourself in a position where you're going and you're doing stuff that is just hard,
Yeah.
mentally hard.
Yeah.
And then you push yourself to do it. And then you start thinking about, you know, your opponent, you start thinking about, you know, what you want to achieve in a fight. And you start building mental strength by doing these tough.
100%. That's where you get it. And I used to get in the 9th round when I'm hurt. I got that time. I can do it. I'm all right. Just play with your mind. I'm good. You're like this, but you got to say, I'm all right. I can go. I
Yeah.
can go.
That's amazing.
You
man.
don't
How you
give in.
guys can
I'd
pull
rather
that
die in there than
8th gear
quit.
out of your ass, you
Yeah.
know, and just fucking, you know, it's
I
crazy.
ain't gonna know.
That's it, man. That's it. Do you coach any? Do you coach?
Yeah, I do. I do some. I don't coach right now. I was trying. I help my nephew at his gym twice a week or whatever. I'll just do some classes and stuff, and I'm getting down here with Live Train, like I was talking about. You know, with the Live Train with the mobile app. You know, you can train
That's
through
awesome.
that, or you know, you can have like train with me, or just talk to me about my fights or whatever,
That's
or talk to
phenomenal.
like the guys on the platform.
Mm-hmm.
You can talk to them about their fights, whatever it might be, whatever you want to do.
Would you ever go
Like
back
it.
into the ring for one of these celebrity fights,
No.
you know?
Nope.
Like, you know, our buddy Vitor Belfort fought Evander Holyfield. That was
You know
awful.
what it is?
He, you know,
If they throw all kinds of money at you and guys take it, and that's all great. But do I look at it, to be honest with you, what is all the money in the world worth if you're not coherent?
Mm-hmm.
If you can't
Agreed.
enjoy it, what is it?
It means
All
nothing.
the hang-on are going to be taking it.
agreed.
Yeah,
You
it
know what I
means-
mean?
It means nothing.
So many other ways to make money in
after
this world.
after you retired, you
Yes.
never had that itch to be like, you know what? Let me
Nope.
get one
One more
Not
little-
one more. Not
Nope.
not at all. Not
Not
one
at all.
time.
You know why, Rashad?
Why?
Everyone asks me that. It's because I know when I trained as hard as I could. When I fought as
Wicked
hard as I
hard.
could.
Wicked
Wicked
hard.
hard. Oh, wicked. Shit. Wicked hard, right? Pisser.
Yeah, pisser.
I trained as hard as I could, Rashad. So if I walked out of that ring, I know I gave everything. I have nothing more to give. But if I cut corners when I was fighting, right, I'd want to come back and say, oh, if I only did the right way this time, maybe
Yeah.
I'll be better. But I gave it my all when I trained out, and it didn't, and it worked the way it worked. You know, God's plan. It worked the way it worked, and that's it.
No regrets. And,
If
that, and
I'm not,
that's,
so I mean, why am I going to go back?
Yeah.
I'm not going to be better now than I was at 36. I'm not going to
Right.
be better at 37 than I was 36. No,
yeah.
it ain't going to happen.
You're better now, Mick.
Oh, yeah, I don't think
See,
so.
I went back after I retired, but for me, it was because I had exercised some demons. Like I lost my last 5 fights,
Right.
and I was like,
I'm not going out
shit,
like that.
I can't go out
Right.
like that. So for
Right.
me, it
But I can
burned
see
my
that, though.
ass.
But I can see that though.
Yeah.
I can see that. You know what I mean? But for me, I'm saying me personally, I just
Yeah,
said
you-
I'm not gonna get no. But I lost my last 2 fights, but I knew I gave everything I had, and the way I lost, whatever. It was like he beat me, whatever. But I had accepted it. You know what I mean? I gave I was like Rashad. I was like, I wanted to win so bad, but even more so, I gave everything I had in my body.
It's a win.
That's all. That's all.
It's a win.
Because I live with myself.
Yeah, and the best thing about your trilogy in the last 2 fights, despite you losing, is that you had a perfect example of sometimes you lose, but you really win.
Right. Yeah. 100%.
And that was those the trilogy.
You
know?
gained a lot of fans.
You gained
Yeah.
so
I mean,
much.
everybody
You know,
loved
you
Micky Ward after
lost,
that
yeah.
fight.
but you really won. You know.
Yeah. So yeah. Yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, listen,
Yeah.
guys, that was
Thank you,
phenomenal. We're getting close to the time here. I could talk to this cat all day
Oh, man,
long.
all day.
I mean, you know, we can go over all kinds of stuff. Talk, you know, women and cars
Oh.
and everything. But anyway, man, this was a great podcast. We had a champion, one of the best fighters ever at his weight class, the one and only Micky Ward, and also another champion who I do this with every week is Suga Rashad Evans. And it was just a pleasure, Mick. Thank you so much
Yeah,
for
bud.
gracing
Thank
the
you.
love over here.
Yeah, thank you,
Yes.
man.
And
Thank you.
Sugar and Sherm, you know, we're bringing it to you every week, you know, and tune in to check out our podcast. And we'll be coming with bigger names and bigger stars every week. I'm just kidding, Mick. It's a phenomenal podcast. Thanks for watching.
This is Micky Ward, and you're watching Suga and Sherm. Sugar.